So I've been playing a lot of D&D recently, and I think it's time that I get myself a custom figure. And by get myself, I mean make myself one. Now, I don't have a 3D printer to make myself one, so I'm gonna try and make one using Shrinky Dink paper. I honestly did not realize I brought this with me to Portugal, but I did in fact bring some off-brand heat shrink paper that I honestly have no better use for than to try and make myself a figurine for D&D. As for the figure itself, I have two main games going on. First, I have one where I'm a Goliath, and second, I have one where I'm a human fighter. So I think I'm gonna try and make ones that are good for both. So the paper says it gets 5 times smaller when it shrinks. And I decided I want my little guy to be about this size when it shrinks. So before I shrink it, I'm obviously gonna have to make it 5 times bigger. So step 1 is I'm gonna figure out how big of a spot I need to make 5 times of this, and then we can begin figuring out the design. Oh my God, this might be a whole sheet. I really did not realize they shrunk that much. Is that right? That looks freaking huge. More or less, it's gonna need to be the size of this absolutely massive rectangle. So let me pull up a picture of a Goliath, which is the one I'm gonna start with. So they're very big, they're very muscly. So we'll put the head near the top, and then they mainly have like large armor. I made the torso way too long, so the legs would be tiny. Okay, we're gonna restart. This character's name is Sherry Longfeet, and she's a Goliath who used to be former military. She had a dog who did not survive one of the recent quests. So now she does not have a dog anymore. Why does the foot kind of look like a dragon? Upside down boot or head of Yoshi? I'm not winning any art awards, but you can tell this is supposed to be a person, like fuck. I did not leave a lot of room for the arms, so that one's just gonna be hanging by the side. I feel like something's off about the proportions. So this is more or less the proportions. I don't know why the legs look really short. So I think I'm gonna make the boots a little longer. I think I finally got the proportions that I'm happy with. So now I just need my last arm. So this is her so far. Actually, I think I'm gonna get rid of the crossbow in this hand and put it on the back. So this is the start of my person. Fuck yeah. I'm so excited how it's coming with the lines so far. The braids are a little fucked, but this is looking both better and worse than I expected. So this is like the outline of my Goliath. I do realize she needs a face, so let me pull that up really quick. Ooh, the nose is fucked. The nose is so fucked, dude. Tried to make it big, and now it looks like a massive foot on the middle of the face. Hate to say it, this is probably as good as the face is gonna get. You know what? It kind of looks like a humanoid creature, and that's all I can ask for. This is my Goliath. Does it look super Goliath-like? No, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna give this a little time to dry before I start coloring it in, you know? And I'm gonna get started on my human fighter. So my human fighter is gonna be like a little more scrawny and probably wearing a different type of armor. To be honest, it's not gonna be super accurate to what is happening in the game, partly because I don't know how to draw armor that accurately, and partly because stuff like armor changes throughout the game. So I'm not too stressed about that bit. On the list of body parts that I have no idea how to draw, we have arms, legs, hands, feet, heads. I wish I was joking. Is it weird that this kind of looks like a bird? Okay, we're gonna give this guy a tiny bit bigger hips because otherwise his legs would look like chicken legs. So he got thick hips. Do you wear armor on your legs? Yeah, like knee pads and shit. Ooh, still a chicken leg. Hold up. You need some meat here, buddy. Looks like horse's legs. So apparently I drew a satyr without meaning to. He is looking a little unmuscular in the arms. Hold on, let me fix that. Oh God, what happened to that hand? Eek. Looks like, I don't know, something died in that hand. So I guess he's getting also a long sword. Oh no, he probably uses a short sword. Does anyone know what a short sword looks like? Because I don't. I'm gonna really need us all to pretend these hands look normal because I don't know how to draw hands. So something is so wrong with this hand. Oh my god, it's so bad. I'm gonna need us all to pretend that hand looks normal. Cool? Oh god, that hand's worse. You know what? Does he use a shield in real life? No. Are we putting a shield right here to hide what I just drew? Yes. Problem of the second hand solved. Also, I might actually want to get him a shield at some point because having characters that can't hit you is nice. I feel like otherwise he's going to have a very average looking face. Those eyes be crooked. Okay, that's my human fighter. Again, not perfect, but kind of vaguely looks human. Does it look like he's wearing sneakers? Yes. He's out here fighting in Adidas. The sword still comically small, but I kind of like it at this point. Cool. So the hand looks horrifying. Otherwise, we're not doing too bad though. The eyes are a bit scary. They're just very open when they stare. But here is the fighter so far. We're gonna now swap and let him dry while I color in my Goliath. The skin I want to be a bluish purple. For the hair, I'm thinking a yellow. But maybe now I'm seeing this a slightly more orange yellow. This is what we're at so far. I just need to color in the clothes and the sword. Okay. Last but not least, I need to put the finger color in. Meet Sherry Longfeet. Her armor is in fact blue because I felt like it. So this is gonna be this one pretty much done. We're gonna let that dry and we're gonna move on to, for the arms, we're gonna do a green. It's apparently fluorescent. Yeah, we're gonna need some brown in there too because that's bad. That color, I guess, is a little better. We're doing this like darkish blue for the pants, which is just regular blue, cool. And now we kind of just have armor left. I kind of want to do some of it pretty dark and then some of it lighter. Oh, that's also green. What the fuck? Why is everything green? This was the original green I was trying to use on the shoulder pads, if anyone's wondering. Well, currently his armor pads are puke green. We're gonna add some gray to that in hopes that that helps. That did not help. I thought I was using black, so what about this? That's brown. Do I have an actual black is my question? Oh, here we go. No, that's still green. Mixing these together on the Shrinky Dink paper does not go quite like you would think. If you're curious, none of these colors turned out how I expected, but I actually don't hate it, so I'll take it. This is my fighter. I think I actually like the coloring on the fighter a little bit better, but the like actual drawing of the Goliath more, if that makes sense. I'm gonna cut them out and then shrink them, but I obviously also need to figure out what to do for standing them up. I think I'm gonna cut out a little notch on these ones and then make a little stand. That is my first one. So it says they get 5 times as thick. So I cut a really thin notch there. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the thing too bad. It did kind of creep higher than I meant to, but I think it should be fine. So this is the Goliath done. And now we're gonna cut out the fighter. Okay, we're gonna cut the same notch in the bottom of this one. I'm worried they're gonna be ginormous, but we'll see. I swear to God I measured. We've got the 2 feet ready, and I'm gonna shrink all 3 of these. So my oven is preheating, and we're gonna get the Shrinky Dinks ready on this tray. It's in and it's time to watch it shrink. Don't get stuck on yourself. Oh no. Oh no. Unroll. Please unroll. They're supposed to flatten out. Oh, they are flattening out, but they did not get as small as I expected. Oh, they're still massive. That wasn't 5 times smaller. Okay, so they definitely shrunk a lot, but I don't think they got 5 times smaller. They're probably a little bit too big to... Oop, still soft. We need to let them cool off a little bit. They are definitely a little bit too big to use at D&D, for sure. I still think they ended up bigger than they were supposed to be, but they are pretty damn cute. Yeah, I also didn't do the base correctly, so they certainly don't fit like that. Good news is it actually fits perfect in this foam that is just randomly in the box. I can't even be too mad. Are they way bigger than I wanted? I wanted them like half this size. They're too big, but they're also kind of cool. The good news is I have a metric fuck ton of this paper left, so I can do this many, many, many more times. So I just found the piece of paper that was supposed to be the size I was going for. Oh boy, did I go wrong. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and if you have any ideas on what I should make out of Shrinky Dinks next, please let me know.